All right, hello, and welcome to the Mr.9 Underscores Show, the very first episode. Today, I'm sitting down with Torell Doroaz, who is a singer, songwriter, and rapper, hailing from St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Torell's music aims to help people out of dark times as he's a huge men's mental health advocate. Today, we'll be taking a deep dive into how music and melodies can save someone's soul. Yes, sir. Torell Doroaz, how are you doing today, man?
Yo, I'm good, fam. I'm good.
Jeez.
Excited to be here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
chilling, getting a good conversation in.
I hear you.
Looking forward to that, man.
I think last time I saw you was on my birthday party, which when I really think about it, actually, it was a lot longer than I remember. To be honest with you,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
was a minute. We've been trying to get this in for a while, so now that it's happening, I'm like, man, on the way here, I'm not gonna lie to you, I was like, yes, this is actually happening for once. You know what I mean?
Yep, yep.
Um, it was cool because every time I meet with you or anytime I hear you're gonna be in a room or you're gonna be somewhere, I know it's good vibes. I know it's good energy.
True.
You know what I mean? And that's something that you've been able to reciprocate back into the world. And I think that's where I want to start this conversation with. I'm going to address the elephant in the room. You are a men's mental health advocate.
Mm.
I could say that. That's the right way of approaching it.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Fair enough.
Definitely.
Um, I feel like us, like just as humans in general, when we hit a certain age, we start to think, man, like this world is fucked up. You know what I mean? We really look around and we see things for what they are,
Hmm.
and a lot of us get consumed by that darkness, but you have not. Somehow, some way, no matter what, you're quite literally looking for a brighter day type thing.
Facts.
You know what I mean? And I want to ask, how? Like, what brought you to step out of that darkness and say, you know what? Nah, I'm not gonna let it beat me. I'm gonna be better than it. When I know for a fact that there are things that bring you down on a regular basis.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in reality, man, it's a fight. It's a battle. You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying? Because I wouldn't say that I have it all together. I wouldn't say that I have it all figured out and, you know, that I don't lose some of the battles. But I think for me is this light that I have inside of me. You know what I'm saying? Like I grew up, I think I shared this with you before, but like I grew up in church.
Hmm.
Um and so being exposed to the gospel, being exposed to you know, teachings of the Bible, I think the truths of the Bible are the things that keep me
Hmm.
and the things that inspire me daily, and give me the strength and the energy to fight when I feel like not fighting,
Right.
when the dark times come. You know what I'm saying? And so I feel like I have hope. There's something to look forward to at the end. There's something to, you know, like in spite of everything in life, I feel like there is still good
Right.
in the midst of all the evil. There's still hope in the midst of all the depression and all the stress and
Hmm.
anxiety and all the different things. And so that's what keeps me. That is the thing that keeps me going.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so I feel like I want to share that as well because I know there are other people out there that is going through the same thing or dealing with the same situations or different situations.
Hmm.
But at the end of the day, we're all fighting something.
Yeah.
And so we're all going through stuff, you know, like I said in the song, and we're all looking for a bright today. We're all looking to come out of that. We're all looking to be happy, to have joy, to have peace, you know. We're all looking to have the good things in life and really enjoy life,
Hmm.
you know. And so I intend to use whatever I have to continue fighting for me and, you know, inspire and encourage other people to do the same thing.
That's dope. That's dope, man. And I feel like that's so important because it's like you said, you feel like you have a light inside you, or you feel like not everything is darkness or not everything is bad.
Right?
I think us as humans, like we understand that, but we can't always see it. You
Facts.
know what I mean? Like we understand that there are good people in the world, that things will come into fruition, that things will work out, but sometimes it's not bright as day. It's not
Yeah.
very easy to just
True.
wake up one day and say, you know what, like it's gonna be good. And I feel like this is why your music is so important because it's that extra push.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's not harsh. It's not a harsh reminder. It's just a gentle push into looking at things in a different view. And I think that that's very important. One thing I do want to ask you though, And if you disagree with me, that's completely fine.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm Guyanese, so I grew up more on soca. However, I was very much pushed into reggae like just by myself. I think hip hop has a lot to do with reggae, so I just fell into it naturally.
Right.
But do you feel like your heritage and your music from your heritage has inspired you to speak about something positively? Because when I look in the reggae scene, a lot of their music is about uplifting
Right.
one another. Do you feel like that's like made an impact on the way that you approach your music at all?
Yeah. In fact, yeah. I say yeah, because I mean, as you said, I'm Vincentian, Caribbean, and so like soca is a major thing there, but it's also influenced by reggae, even though it came from Jamaica. Um, but for me, I grew up listening to all different genres of music. So my parents were singers in church. Even as a kid, I was like in the choir and stuff. Um, and I had this uncle that was always around. He was a DJ, so he
Yeah.
played different genres of music. A lot of times he played a lot of reggae too.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? And like you said, like you rightly said, reggae always seemed to have this uplifting, positive vibe about it. And I went through a very interesting journey in my life, and music, more specifically reggae dancehall, is what started this whole positive change in my life. To be honest with you,
Mm. That's
and
big.
so you might not believe, but initially, the first song that I ever attempted to write was reggae.
Really?
Yep. Yeah, it was a song. It was a song called I can't remember the name of the song right now. But that was so long ago, bro. But yeah, it was a reggae song. I was in school back home and I was writing it. I went home, tried working on it, and then but I don't know, like somewhere along the line, I started listening to hip hop
Mm.
a bit more, and I don't know, but it felt like hip hop, like the music I was listening to, had a lot more in it than the reggae. Like while
Mm.
reggae is uplifting and positive, like hip hop allows for more deep interaction. You know what I'm saying? Like you
Yeah.
get to see a lot more in that genre.
I guess
You know?
hip hop is harsher to
Yeah,
put
yeah.
it.
If you want to put it that way. And so I gravitated more to that because the things that I was listening to, the messages I was hearing, started to play at my heart.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Started nudging at my heart. Um, and it changed my life, bro. Like it put me on the path that I'm on. So I mean, I guess that's why I gravitated um, ultimately to hip hop after, like
Right.
because of that. But reggae was initially the thing.
Mm. So would you have taken that reggae thing the long run if you'd never been into hip hop? Probably.
Probably,
Probably.
probably. I still. I mean, I'm not trying to box myself in. I still might do reggae. You might hear
Yeah.
me do some reggae. Like I try to fuse it.
Yeah. I
Like
definitely see that. I was
try
gonna
to
talk about
fuse
that in a
it.
second. Yeah.
Yeah, because I believe in just being a creative, and not
Mm.
necessarily sticking to a genre. But
Yeah.
like right now, like on New Year's Day, I put a song on SoundCloud. It's a kind of hip hop reggae fusion kind of
Mm.
thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking here, but I'm still trying to remember the name of that song.
Yeah. Yo, don't worry.
I'm still trying to
When
remember
it
the name of
comes
the
to you, you can
song.
definitely dress it. Is that song out or is it like?
The reggae song?
Yeah.
Nah, it never
Oh
it
shit! I
never
was gonna
made it to
say.
the light. Nah, that was this
I was
is
gonna
the
say if it's out,
archives.
I would hunt it when I got home.
Yeah, that's not out, man.
I
But
agree.
yeah. I feel reggae does have an influence on the music that I make, because I mean, to be honest with you, I admire Bob Marley, though he's not alive.
Mm.
Peter Tosh, um, and I mean just the way how they have used music and changed the world.
Mm.
The world is still impacted today
Right.
by their music. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And the movements that they made. So yeah, man.
Yeah, I think Bob Marley in particularly. Um, he's like a god, man. He's like, you know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like
yeah.
literally, I think it's. I think he's like the prime example when people say like, "Oh, how powerful is music?" or "Why you take music so seriously?" And I'm like, "Look at what it can do." And I
Yeah.
think I'll just point fingers at him and be like, "Look, just
Facts.
open your eyes, open
Hmm.
your ears, and pay attention, and just watch, because that's that's a movement. You know what I mean? Like that's more than the music. That's bigger than the music. So
Yep.
I always look at him as a big, not only an inspiration, but just a pure person. Like, you know what I mean? Like a very pure person, somebody who is here to enjoy their time and just live life. Like, you know what I mean? I figure there's a lot of people who get caught up with what's going on. And even sometimes, like, when I get home from my job, I see how much time I've wasted, and I'm like, man, like, I'm not really living. You know what I mean? Like, I
I
don't
feel
feel
that.
as connected to the world as I should be. And when I really think about that, it's crazy because it's like I live on this planet every day. I go through everything on this planet, you know what I mean? But I don't feel connected with the soil that I walk on every
Right.
day, which is crazy. And the fact that music can make you feel connected to something that you don't really understand is big, man. Is big. And
It's
I'm glad
powerful,
that you
man.
bring up Bob Marley because that's I don't know if I'd say he's a big inspiration for me because I haven't like taken anything from the music that I put into my own,
Right.
but the message is there. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like I've
yeah, yeah.
taken it into my own life more so than my music.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know what I
yeah.
mean?
Yeah, it's the same for me. Like, you know, just the things that he sang about, the things that he stood for. You know what I'm saying? And just how he remained tenacious. He just stood his ground throughout everything. You know what I'm saying? Like he knew what he believed in, and nothing or anybody changed that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that those are the things that I'm inspired by, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? Because like those are the things that actually left an impact. That's what I believe. I feel like those are the things about him that still have people listening to his music today. Still have people looking at his biopic or biography or just thinking back on his life. People still do that just because of the impact that he had, and it's because of those things.
Right.
You know?
100%.
Yeah.
100%. I'm trying to think of a figure as big as him, somebody to compare, but I don't even think I can. I can't even think of anybody right now. One thing that I wanted to ask you, real quick, with the rise of something like social media, do you feel like that has affected people's mental health going forward?
100%.
Yeah. And
Yes,
there's
sir.
a lot of aspects to nudge in there and dig in there. There's so many different reasons why it could hurt somebody, but what is your main thing? What do you think is the set
Man,
reason?
the main reason. One, social media is a facade. And it let's say it sells false hope and dreams to some extent. Because since social media came in, bro, it's almost as if everybody has been trying to live a life that is beyond or above them. It's almost like everybody is trying to live or be something that they're not made to be, or something that is not them authentically.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? For instance, social media is made as a tool to do different things, which is cool. But I feel like it has become an idol. That's the issue. That's the
Right.
issue. That's the main issue. It's become an idol for a lot of people, and so like for me, I remember the first time I signed up on, well, I don't know if you ever heard about High Five. You know High Five, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I remember joining High Five, and
I was never on that, but I know.
yeah, man, I was on High Five, my guy. In those days, they didn't even have WhatsApp. So
Yeah.
like High Five and MSN Messenger. So you go on High Five, you add somebody, you get their email address, and you talk to them on MSN Messenger.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But like you spend so much time on that. You give High Five all of your time just looking through people's profiles, pictures, meeting people, and then you just consume your whole mind, or your whole life is consumed just by that. Because then they start to get creative. It's no more just meeting people. They got a bunch of games,
Right.
and they got everything on there for you. So you come there, you lock in,
Right.
and then they're like, "Yo, okay, so High Five is good, but we need
You
to
come
up
on there and you go to sleep there type
yeah,
thing.
yeah. We need to up the game. Facebook comes in. Then even before Facebook, you had tagged,
Right.
and then before that, you had MySpace. You had a whole bunch of stuff, my guy. You need so many different things. You know what I'm saying? And then you have people. IG, one of the biggest things right now,
Right.
came in after. Another tool to just post pictures. You go on a trip, you can post a picture. You go here, there, you post a picture. You just share your memories.
Yeah.
Which is cool. But then it became a thing where people are looking for acceptance, and so you post expecting likes.
Mm.
You know, it has moved from having fun posting pictures to wanting likes,
Mm.
or wanting to be famous, or wanting to like you have people that put your certain lifestyle on social media that will make you feel like you're not living.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so this person has 1,000 likes and you have five, and you feel like, nah, something is wrong with me. So
Right. 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 No,
I gotta go
100%.
I gotta go and do something crazy now to get
Yeah.
that amount of likes. And it just puts people in a very bad position, man. It puts you in a place where you're now trying to be somebody else, or you're trying to pretend to be what you're not, just for acceptance by everybody else.
Mm.
And that's something that as human beings we will struggle with, because I believe that humans we have made we want to be accepted. Like that's a natural inclination of human beings. We want to be accepted.
Mm.
We were made for love, for acceptance. But the thing is, we're looking for those things in the wrong places,
Right.
and we're looking for those things the wrong ways.
Digitally. We're
You know what
looking
I'm
for
saying?
it digitally. And it's not
Exactly.
a real connection.
Like now, social media has robbed us of having real relationships.
Mm.
It has robbed us of spending quality time with our friends and family and loved ones. You know what I'm saying? Just doing things that could meaningful things that could leave an impact on our lives and the people around us. Um, it has robbed us from all of that, man. And so I feel like it plays a major role in our mental health, because then when you're spending your time there and doing nothing else, one that's bad for your brain physically.
Right.
That's bad for your brain. You know what I mean? You're not engaging. You're not doing anything. So you just
You're just scrolling. You're using your
you're
thumbs
just
for it.
scrolling. It's like you become slaves to social media.
Right.
And before you know it, like for me, let me say for me, before you know it, I was looking for likes, followers, uh, shares, all those things. And when you don't get them, then you feel like,
Like, damn, this guy's doing something I'm not. Or,
yeah, like
you know what I
something
mean?
is wrong with me, bro.
Yeah.
Or like I need to figure out another way to get this, or people don't like me,
Right.
or I'm not accepted. People don't love me. People don't want to hear me. People don't want to see me. You know what I'm kind of saying? So it's like, yo, social media has messed with our brains. We ride our brains in such a way that it's not good for us as human beings right now. And I mean, inherently, nothing is wrong with the platforms, but I think at the end of the day, I think it's just men. Just the heart of humans.
Right.
And the things that we're looking for, we just kind of put these things in the places where they're not supposed to be. Our priorities are mixed up.
Yeah.
And so it affects us.
I think I like how you said it's not nothing wrong with the platform, because it's like I feel like there is genuinely a lot to
Yeah.
gain out of the platform. I think like people like to shit on technology all the time, but I feel like it's not the technology that exists, it's how people use it. You know what
Facts.
I mean? So like for example, like people always be like, "Oh, like you kids and your technology and your phones," but I always think about like, man, like imagine if I didn't have Google Maps on my phone to get home that night.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Imagine if I went to all these social events and I had to write down everybody's email to go back. You know what I mean? So that's why I don't really hate these platforms, but I feel like when it, like you said, when it became a competition and people were butting heads with each other, and I feel like especially since it happens like such an early age, like a lot of kids are getting on IG now when they're like 9. You know what I mean? And at that age, you're already competing in school about, who's the best soccer player on the field, like who's the best at doing math. You're already in that competitive state that when you take it to a social platform, you take that competition home with you,
Yes,
and it
sir.
lives in you for a long time, man. And like I had to learn for real, because like when I started doing music, I'm like, man, all my friends have all the followers, all the views, all this, and I really needed to sit back and understand that most of these people that I'm looking at, most people that I can even consider my friends in this music thing, are a lot older than I am.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm just 21 years old, and it's not that I'm doing something wrong or I'm not doing as good as these guys. A big part of it is literally these guys have more experience than me, and I can't magically be at their level. I can't magically live 6 years of my life ahead, you know what I mean, to be where they are. So sometimes I need to sit back and just look and be like, you know what, bro? All those followers that he has, all those likes that he has, like he accumulated that over time. Like that came with time, that came with work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not just I'm gonna post something cool and the world's gonna like it. You know what I mean? And truth is, sometimes you might put something out there and there's always gonna be somebody who doesn't like it.
Yep.
And people who grow up on social media don't understand that. You know what I mean? You create all these guidelines and all this nonsense to stop people from doing that. But at the same time, it's like I don't think there's anything wrong with taking that criticism either.
Mm-hmm.
And you need to learn how to look at a bad comment and just say, you know what, bro, it's cool,
Yeah.
and walk away from that. But
Yeah.
like you said, us as people, everybody wants to be loved, everybody wants to be remembered. But when you give everybody the power to put something out to be remembered, and then it goes unnoticed, it hurts them so much. Like
Yeah.
it hurts them in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Another big thing that I've seen in social media, which kind of annoys me, is when you have a lot of people who create these gender stereotypes or these gender roles.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's crazy because sometimes I just see a bunch of, I see a bunch of men saying like, "Oh, girls will do this and girls will do that." You know what I mean? All types of girls are quiet, all that, and then you have all the women who are saying, "Oh, don't date a man who does this. Don't date a man who does that. Don't." You know what I mean? And I feel like we've almost created like a war between genders, and it's the weirdest thing, man. Every time I hop on the internet, I always see somebody saying like, "Men who do this are a problem. Like I can't stand y'all. Like all men are like this and all men are like that." And then you'll scroll down and see a guy saying, "Yo, when bitches do this, like it's a problem." You know what I mean? And the whole time I just feel like people are people. You know what I mean? Like I don't look at anybody differently based on their gender, based on whatever. Like I know plenty of girls who act like guys. I know plenty of guys who act like girls. It's just people are just people. You know what I mean? And that's it. I think if I were to tell anybody anything, it's like, yo, when you see somebody saying something on social media, like don't take it to heart. And there's a lot of people who do. There's a lot of people who go on there and they see something and they're like, yeah, like I relate to this so much. Like this is my life because they were just in a breakup. You know what I mean?
But
I think
like, not even to cut you, bro. I'm sorry.
yeah, no,
But, like,
go on.
Like, I'm glad that you mentioned that, right?
Mm,
Because the funny thing about that is that a lot of those things that you see people posting, they themselves are in the situation that they're talking about. Like,
right.
they might be like, oh, these dudes in loyal, this nigga in that, this guy in that, but she's with that guy still,
Right.
right?
Right.
But then just from her post, you can't tell.
Yeah.
And then you're out here like, oh yeah, these guys are trash. You know what I'm saying? And you go and you break your relationship up, and before you know it, you check her profile and you see a picture of her and her guy. I was like, they're still together.
Right.
And you're like, oh, you messed your stuff up already, so you can't fix that. But I just say that to say, man, like everything on social media is not truth.
Mm,
Like people be posting a bunch of stuff on that.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times just for clout or to go viral or whatever. But the thing about the whole thing that hurts is to see people look to social media for solutions to their life problems.
Mm,
You know, just like you said, like people be like, oh, I can relate to that so much, you know. But I think what people, like my advice or what I think people should actually do, you go and you read it, see what you can learn from it, see what's trash, then look back at your situation and see what you can do
Right.
differently. Because a lot of times, man, girls be on there and it's like, oh, these guys, man, you know what? And they come to the guy now and they be like, oh, you don't do this or you don't do that. How come? So that you compare yourself with other
Right.
people in there and then you make a mess of your real life situation because you feel like what you've seen on there is actually real.
mm,
It could be real, but it doesn't mean that your situation has to be the same as theirs.
exactly.
You know, if they decide to break up, you could decide to reconcile. If you decide to reconcile, you could decide, yo, this is too toxic. I'm a dick.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there's just so many different things. Like, look at people's situations, yeah, but there are different things that you can apply to yours. Not everything you will take.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? And that annoys me, man. Like,
Yeah.
people just be
I
looking
think
to that
that-
for solutions.
That annoys me so much because I feel like nowadays people are so scared to like get into a relationship or talk to the other gender because of, oh, they saw somebody say something on social media and then they relate it to one person in their life and then it's like everybody's like that, you know what I
Yep.
mean? Which like if I were to give advice to anybody who's listening right now or anybody who's watching, like don't be afraid of the other gender, you know what I mean? There's absolutely nothing wrong with talking to a female. There's nothing wrong with a female talking to a male. You know what I mean? There's nothing just because of the situation that happened in the past or just because you've dealt with certain people in your past, or just because somebody on social media said, oh, if you do this, a guy will act like that. Or if a guy doesn't do this for you, then that's a problem. Or when a guy says, oh, when a girl doesn't do this, that means that it's a red flag. You can't talk like, bro, honestly, just be yourself. You know what I mean? Go out there, talk to people, try things, and call it a day. I feel like, yo, life is way too short to be worried about what somebody said on social media about, the opposite gender. Go have fun with people, you know what I mean? And not everybody's bad, I'll tell you that much. Not every man is an asshole. Not every girl is seeing somebody else, you know what I mean? And yes, social media can be deadly, man. Social media can really be deadly. Like, I'll be the first to admit that even sometimes, like, if I were in a relationship, sometimes I'd see like a guy half across the planet comment on the post, and I'm like, yo, what's going on? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I'm like, and so that was a lot. That was definitely when I was younger. Now I'm like, yo, it's whatever. You know what I mean? It's just a couple of words. You can't let it fight you. But definitely, man, social media is a big one, because that's just how people are social now. It's how people connect nowadays. Sometimes you might, but you know what? Sometimes it does work, man. Sometimes people find each other half across the planet, and it works out. So,
yeah, I mean, that happens. It works. You definitely
can't turn it down on that, but mentally, definitely, social media can affect us in numerous ways that you can't even explain. But when you see it, you know what's happening. Yeah, that's the best way I would put it.
Just a few things to note. Like, you just know that there's nothing wrong with it. 2, it's a tool for you to use, and not to be used by. Like, you're not supposed to allow yourself to be mastered by social media. You master it. You use it for whatever good purposes. And not everything you see on the social media is true. Like, just these different things. Once you understand these things, you'll be fine. You know what I'm saying? You won't find yourself competing, or when you find yourself competing, take a break.
Right.
Like, I recently had to take a break. You know, I'm there now posting again, but like, I'm not really back there. You know,
right.
Just like,
you're in and out,
hopping in there every now and again. And when I jumped off, when I jumped off, that's when I realized how attached I was to social media, man. Because it made me feel like my progress was too slow. Like, you see everybody doing stuff.
Yeah.
Everybody dropping music. Everybody doing some video or some reel or something creative, and like, what's going on? Like, where am I? What am I doing? You know? And you start comparing. You start feeling all types of ways. So, man, I just had to jump out of that and be like, man, I don't care anymore.
Yeah, you know what
I'm saying? And it helped, because now I could not be on it when I don't want to. Now I could not respond to messages if I don't want to. Now I could just not look at stories or reels or whatever, post when I feel like, and whether it's liked or not, I post it. Who it's for, it's for. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, take a break if you need to, man. It's good for your mental health.
I gotta get on that. I'm not gonna lie to you. I've actually never taken a break. I think since I've downloaded it, it's been there. I might need to get on that. I feel like that's a difficult to adjust to at first.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, because the first few days, I felt, literally, my guy, for the first few days of not being on social media, I would take my phone up, scroll, because I didn't delete the apps, I just logged out and everything.
Right.
I looked at the app, tapped it, and realized it says logged out. And logged in, I was like, shit, like, what am I doing? Like, for the first few days, I didn't pick my phone up looking for the app.
First few days was like hysterical, bro.
You know, it was like, and then it hit me like, what is wrong with me, man? Like, why am I looking? Like, I'm not logged in. I'm taking a break. Why the hell am I looking for these apps still? You know? And then eventually, it just kind of like got like, whatever.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, it's funny because one of my friends told me the same thing, that I should log out for a day because I was wilding out. Like, I was just pissed. And he was like, yeah, you should take a break. And I said I was going to, but I definitely did not. Like, I was off it for like an hour and I was back on it.
FOMO could be a thing too. Your fear of missing out, you could feel like, yo, I don't want to miss out.
Yeah.
Because I thought about that,
Yeah.
But I really had to be like, yo, I need this or whatever, man. If I miss anything, for a few people, I was like, yo, you know how to reach me? My email is on my profile. So a few people got my number, text me, whatever. And that was it. Dipped.
That's dope. That's dope. Yeah, I know you were like that because it was the first time I got your number.
Yeah.
Off of that situation.
Yeah.
So, oh shit, I forgot what I was gonna say.
Fine, fine.
In terms of that same topic with social media and genders going against each other, um, you have a song called Heart to Heart.
Mm.
I think it's your second most streamed song, if I'm correct when I was looking at those numbers. Um,
Can't remember.
um, that's probably my favorite track. It's between that and A Little Love.
Sheesh.
I don't know yet. It's between those two.
Appreciate you still.
Um, I think I think Heart to Heart is a stronger track altogether.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think A Little Love is just insanely catchy, so I return to it. But
Yeah,
I feel
yeah,
like
yeah.
at the end of the day, when I really look at it, I think Heart to Heart is probably my favorite track.
Mm.
Um, on that track, you talk about how we should treat women correctly and how there's a right way and to just be respectful in general.
Right.
And I'm glad you said that. And I'm glad you have a song out there that's like that. And it's one of your most streamed songs because when you talk about men or you talk about men's mental health, I feel like it's very scary today because people will always address you as like an Andrew Tate kind of person or
Mm.
somebody who's like very egotistical or you know
Right.
what I mean? And that's definitely not the vision that I want for you because I've seen you speak, I've heard your music, I know what you're about, and I know that you're the
Yeah.
real thing. So I'm so glad that you have a track like that, and why it's so important to have it to pay attention to not only just men but everybody around us, people in
Mm-hmm.
general. What is there a situation that made you feel like, yo, people need to understand this, or did it just come straight from the heart?
For the song?
Yeah.
Yeah. So at that time, like I wrote that song while I was back home still. Uh, I recorded it here though in a
Mm.
room. That's a funny story.
Right.
But there was a bunch of I don't know. There was a bunch of stuff going on back home in my country. Like every second, well, not literally, but you would hear some guy abused a woman,
Mm.
and it was just happening like right one after the other, and so it just kind of pressed on my heart, like bros, like what are we doing,
Mm.
like. I mean, as men, we complain about women. Women complain about men too. But
Right.
like, it doesn't mean that we're to abuse them. It doesn't mean that we are to, um, you know, take advantage. And I don't know much about. Well, I don't know, but my country is a religious country. Like, and so the when it comes to some the Bible talking about men being leaders, men being um, the head of the home or whatever. And so I feel like a lot of people kind of feel like that means you should run a woman's life,
Mm.
and so if she doesn't, adhere to what you say as a man, then you unleash punishment or some
Right.
kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? But like that's not even the case. Like we are equals.
Mm.
We have different roles. Men are called to different things. Women are called to different things. We are wired differently, but at the same time, like it's not a pass to beat women or abuse women, and so a lot of that was going on, and so um, I was just trying to figure out what to do about it. Like, how can I speak to the situation?
Mm.
And my partner at the time, she was like, "Yeah, you should say something different this time." And so I was like, "You know what? I'm gonna deal with this situation."
Mm.
And so I did that song. Just really talk. It's like it's a letter to the bros. It's a letter to the guys.
Yeah.
Basically, that's how I termed it. You're just kind of talking to my homies, talking to the guys out there, like, "Yo, this is the situation. God made us, men and women, and to be honest, we would be a mess without women in the world.
Yeah. 100%. We need.
Whether whether we want to believe it or not, men. If the world was just filled with men, the world would be a mess.
Right.
That's the reality.
Yeah, don't make me think about that. Holy.
You know what I'm saying? Without women in the world, I think about it. Without your mother, your sister, your whoever, well, women in the world will be a mess.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? And so God made us to come together, to work together, to be compatible, to just to balance things out basically. And so we have to respect each other and love each other, treat each other right. So women, man, love them.
Yeah.
They treat them with love, tenderness, care.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Because we are more rough. Men are more rough and greedy.
Right.
Women, they need more love and tenderness and attention and care, and
Mm.
you got to do that. And so I was just trying to talk to the guys and kind of encourage that, you know, in the society, just love a woman, man. Take care of them. And to be honest with you, whether you can see it or not, when you take care of a woman, it helps. It helps you as a man, because then the woman ain't get stressed out. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? She ain't get stressed out. They had this storm in the Caribbean, they had this storm, what they say? Happy wife, happy life.
Something like
Or
that.
something like that.
Yeah.
Right. So, I mean, they might just say that for marriage or whatever, but like in reality, bro, that goes across the board.
It's true, man.
If you treat a woman right, then we'll be right. We'll be okay.
Right.
You know what I mean? We don't have women in our heads every minute just sending us crazy because we're doing the right thing and we're treating them right and stuff. So, I mean, that's another,
Yeah.
something you can think about when you think about how you treat a woman. You know what I'm saying?
It's funny you said happy life, happy wife, because I feel like that statement is becoming like a joke more
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
But nah, man, it's true, man. Like it's a woman's care, a woman's touch is something that you can't find like anywhere else. Like you said, a world full of men, bro. I don't know what I do. I feel like I feel like we just be at war the whole time. You know,
Man.
we definitely just be at war.
Especially if your ego, bro.
That's what I'm saying.
Like,
Ego's
yo.
a big thing. Like we're just talking about social media about ego. Like you know what I mean? If it was all men, holy smokes.
It'd be crazy.
And-
What a world.
Yeah, man. So yeah, I think it's important to have something out like that and to remind people, cause a lot of people do get out of line every now and then.
Yeah.
And I'm even thinking of some people in my head right now. I'm not gonna say names, but I definitely think of people in my head right now who get out of line. And sometimes, I definitely have a soft spot for girls. I'm not gonna lie to you, 100%.
And a major thing, bro, like the way the world is set up, the way the world was made to function, is like I said, the whole balance of men and women living in harmony, loving each other, taking care of each other. And it's just like when we don't use a tool correctly, we are never satisfied with the results. And so if we don't do life correctly, we can never be happy. We can never be
Right.
satisfied with the results. And so if we abuse a woman instead of loving them, then we can't be happy. We'll never be satisfied with the results.
Right.
And so you have chaos. You have mental breakdowns or whatever, It's like you just can't function in a world where things are not being done correctly or the tools are not being used correctly. Like you can't function properly in a world like that. And so if we see life like that, then I think we would be in a better place.
Right. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. I think you have to give what you can get. You know what I mean? You have to give the care if you expect to be cared for.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That goes a long way.
For real.
And you were saying how you need to live life correctly to be satisfied in a way. I want to ask you, do you feel like there is a correct way to live life, or do you feel like that's different for everybody? That's a
You
deep
should-
question. That's a life-changing question.
Bro,
there.
trying to get me canceled out here. Like I'm not even there yet. I didn't even make it yet, bro. I didn't even, Damn. But it's all good. I'm willing to speak. So like I shared earlier, right? I grew up in the church, but it's not the only life I know. I've had enough experience to know that there are different belief systems and different things out there. And but for me, this is my conviction. I've experienced enough in the church and walked away from the church to come back to who started the church. So in other words, I was there, I had my struggles, but then it brought me back to to Jesus. I'm gonna say Jesus. You know, a lot of people have. I know people have issues with the name Jesus.
Yeah.
You
I
know,
know people are like
but it's all good. I'm gonna say it. If you have a problem, it's all good. I love you.
that.
You know, I'm not judging anybody. I'm saying I love you. Yeah. So I learned about what Jesus has done for me, and then I learned the whole idea of God creating the world, and you know, at the end, like learning that God made the world good. And to be honest with you, like people have a misconception about that too. Like God made us for us to enjoy life. You know what I'm saying? Like God is not trying to have robots or but he made us enjoy life, and he basically showed us how to enjoy life. Like that's the whole idea of the Bible. And I feel like if we live based on the creator, like a creator have a manual for an equipment, he used the equipment based on the manual, it works fine. Everything goes fine. So I feel like if we do that, then we'll be fine. That's my belief. And so I'm trying my best, to live according to that manual. And I'm saying just see life go well. I'm saying other people might have their own uh, manual or their own way of living, but for me, bro, it's just like I'm trying to be like Jesus. I'm trying to change the world.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to
Trying
live
to give
in a
people
way
life,
that,
bro.
at the end of the day, joy could be my portion, At the end of the day, peace could be my portion. Like you heard me saying bright today, I want to have joy, I want to have peace, I want to wear a
Right.
smile on my face again. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, bro, I'm trying to live for Jesus, my guy.
I hear you. I hear you. That's I feel like there's a lot more people who will agree with you than you might think. So
Cool.
I know you're afraid of afraid of what you just said, but no, I think there's a lot more people.
Nah,
Who,
it's not necessarily being afraid.
Mm,
It's just like, you don't want to. People have this wrong idea when you hear Jesus or you hear somebody is Christian.
mm,
You know what I'm saying? And I understand because over the years I have seen Christians do some wild things in the name of Jesus.
right,
I've heard and seen Christians judge people because they're not
right,
Christians, or bash people because their lifestyle doesn't match up to theirs. I'm saying, like, to be like, that's not Jesus. Like Jesus is out here chilling
love thy neighbor.
in the trenches, my guy.
Yeah.
Like Jesus is out here with the hoodlums. Like he ain't up in the church up there looking down on people.
Right.
You feel me? He's out here loving people, giving people food who doesn't have anything to eat. Clothing people, healing people. Like it wasn't the religious people he was around. It was the people out here in the streets. You know what I'm saying? And so that's what I am trying to be like. So you see me everywhere,
Right.
right? I'm in all these shows. I'm performing on shows everywhere. People saying what they want, doing what they don't want, and for me, it's all love because at the end of the day, love is what makes the difference. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, God made us for us to love each other. Like love is medicine for your mental health too. When you love people, you know what I mean, and you feel loved by people, you will live happy. We live in peace and harmony.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's where a little love came from too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why I was kind of like, if you when I was talking about Jesus, it's not
Right.
I wasn't afraid, but you know what I'm saying?
I get you.
But I just want to let people know, bro. Like I try to live for Jesus. You want to chop it up about Jesus? Let's talk. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Let's get it. No judgments here, man.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I like how you said love is medicine for mental health because we were just talking about how when you feel loved by, or if you don't feel love when you're on social media, how that can affect you. And I think what you just said is perfect because it lines up to how when you look for love in the right places,
Exactly.
the right places,
The right places.
then you'll be satisfied.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And not on the internet, not, anywhere else that's not a human connection. You know what I mean? Like you pulling up is love, is a sign of
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you know what I mean? Like just this conversation is love. And I'm sure somebody's gonna make a sus joke about that, but you know what I mean?
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah.
talking about, and you know what it is. Um Speaking on how you should live life, I realized something recently, and I thought you might have found this interesting. Um, I was thinking about how is just a little unsatisfied with how I'm going through things right now,
Mm-hmm.
and I noticed something that kind of interested me, and it's like how the system that we're in kind of gets you
Hmm.
when, and this is something that nobody is going to tell you growing up. Like when you're a kid, you have all the time in the world to do whatever you want.
True.
You know what I mean? You have no obligations. You ain't got no job. You ain't got no bills to pay. When summer break comes around, you're just sitting at home.
Yeah, man. Have fun.
But all the things that you want to do, you don't have the money or the transportation to do any of these things.
Hmm.
When you get older, you have the money and the transportation to do all of these things. You don't have any time in the world to take for yourself.
Hmm.
And I compare it to times like, when I was a kid, I always want to go to Wonderland, like every day. Every day I want to ride Leviathan. You know what I mean? But in order to do that, man, I had to call like my parents were always at work, so I had to call my friend, and he would like ask his uncle if he could give us a ride, all that, and then we have to go beg somebody for like $70 so we can pay for the pass and pay for food and all this, so that when you get there, those are the days that you didn't have any time, the transportation and the money to do anything, and it's like now I can get in my car and drive to Wonderland whenever I want to, but I work full time.
Yeah. So you don't have
And
the time.
I'm not gonna go in the afternoon when I have like 3 hours to be there,
Yeah.
especially after I'm tired after work, and that means I'm majority of the time I'm gonna go on a Saturday when the place is packed up like this, and I gotta wait 3 hours for a 2 minute ride.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? And when that really hit me, I'm like, man, like that's how they really get you. Like we're in this continuous cycle of when you gain something, something else gets taken away,
Yep.
and it's crazy. It's crazy. I'm gonna share something with you real quick. Um, I I I I don't know how to approach this because you're a very positive person. I feel like there's a lot of negativity in what I'm gonna say, so I'm always like
It's all
skeptical
good.
about
It's all
bringing
good.
that
It's all
around
good.
somebody like you. I'm not gonna lie to you, Terrell. Me as a person, as of recent, I'm a little lost. If I'm being 100% honest with you, I think lost is an understatement.
Mm.
I'm in a position right now where I feel like every decision I make, every step I take, comes with strings attached.
Mm.
Like everything I do has to have a backdrop to it. Like there's always a catch. For something to work out, something else has to screw up. If I'm in my job right now and I don't really enjoy what I'm doing, and me, my brother, and my dad, we all work in the same company. Yet it seems like I've gotten the shittiest end of the stick,
Mm.
or I have the opportunity to make music and speak to people, but that comes with the marketing process. That comes with all these things that you have to build. I remember when nobody told me that I could make music. Everybody was like, no, you can't do that, it's not a real thing. And then I did it. Once I hit that height,
Mm-hmm.
everybody was like, oh, okay, now you got to put out an album, you got to market it. Okay, I did that. Now everybody's like, oh, you got to get paid for it, you got to put out a hit. And it just seems like no matter how far I go, somebody expects something higher of you, somebody
Mm.
expects something better of you. You know what I mean? And like I said, I have the opportunity to speak to people, to create this music, but you got to pray that everybody will understand it. You got to pray that it'll work out. If I want to date this girl, I know she has the potential to make me happy, but my family might not agree with that, or the people around me might not agree with that. And it just always seems like there's something attached to it, and I can't win no matter how far I push myself. And for whatever reason, there's like this impending doom that sits around me for the longest time, and I can't seem to escape from it. I can't seem to run from it, and I don't know how to fix that.
Hmm.
Torell, you as a men's mental health advocate, what advice would you give to me and anybody else who's watching that's going through it? Because I know I'm not the only person. Despite how alone some things might feel, I know for a fact there are people who hide their scars behind closed doors when nobody's around. Like we were talking about social media, you don't always see this on social media. I feel like even now my music, like I'm in a position where I don't even care about surviving anymore because I just want to make art. Like I just want to be creative now at this point. Like most of my music is just monstrous embodiments of whatever is festering inside.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? and I'm not even in a position right now where I want to make something that's gonna make me money because I just don't care anymore. What is the point of surviving? Why do I want to stay on this planet when it seems like things are continuing to go downhill? In other words, I'm looking for a brighter day for real.
Yeah.
But yeah, what advice would you give me or to anybody who's watching this?
Um, that's wild, bro. First of all, I'll say, well, you know this part, but to everybody else, you're not alone.
Mhm.
I'll go into it. Um, 'Cause like right now, bro, like I got some stuff I'm dealing with too,
Mhm.
you know. But what I'm gonna say to you, bro, like you shared some stuff. I have a question for you though,
Yeah.
before I can answer you. Uh, with music and everything else that you want to do, why do you want to do them? Like, is it just that you just love it? Like, what does doing music do for you? Making music do for you?
I feel like it gives me an outlet to speak on something that I don't know how to put into words. Like,
Mm,
I mean? Like everything I just said, I stumbled upon something. I know when I go into them and be like, oh man, I could have spoke about this. But when it's in a song, when I write my lyrics, it's like I can layer out everything. And I think you would know
right.
just as much as everybody else that when I say something on a track, you feel it.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know
yeah,
what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
You
Yeah,
take that with you.
for real. And also, what do you want to accomplish with your life in terms of like, do you have like something in mind, like an end goal that you want to accomplish with, just from everything that you're doing with music or whatever else? Do you have that in mind?
I think I just want to be respected as you know. I mean, respected as an artist, as somebody who's creative, as remembered as a genuine person. You know what I
Mm,
mean? Like I could care less about being the richest person in the world or having the most streams or being the most like. I don't really care about the accolades. Like
right.
I just care about the love that I can spread realistically. Like that's what counts. That's why some of these shows I don't even get paid for, but when you come off stage and somebody tells you like, man, like that track was crazy, that really spoke to me, and they
Mm-hmm.
go home and listen to your stuff, like that is the feeling, bro. That's what I'm in it for, to be honest with you.
Nice. So I'll say this. I'll say this. I feel like we have to come to a place in life, a place of contentment,
Mhm.
like knowing what it is we are looking to accomplish, knowing what it is we want in life or from life, and trying to figure out if we have it or how we can get it. Because other than that, we're always going to find ourselves on this never-ending chase. Because the truth is, we can be doing all these things and it makes no sense. Like you always find yourself in a place where there's always something, as like you said, like you do this and then there's this and then you do that and then there's that and then you do that. Um, while marketing when it comes to music or while doing a bunch of stuff could be good, I think it all has to do with up here your perception. You know, this is what I say. Why I say that. I remember doing music and feeling like I wanted to be great.
Mm.
I still want to be great, sure. You know, I want to make a bag for music,
Mm.
and then it wasn't coming. You got to do marketing. You start doing that, and you feel like, oh, this shit is taking so long.
Right.
Still, um, I gave up on music, but then I came right back because I realized that it was something I love doing. Like when you see me making music, when you see me in the booth, when you see me on the stage, when you see me just out here just giving bars, all this is I realize that's where I find joy. I'm most happy when I do that because I
Mm.
love it. And then I got to a place where I started chasing the bag again. And so that's where the whole comparison thing with, everybody else getting numbers because the numbers go up, the streams go up and stuff, you make the bag and you feel like you're not doing anything. But I had to come to a place where um, I tell myself that I have what I need already. And so I don't need to fight to do anything else. I don't need to overwork myself to do a bunch of marketing or to try to get these numbers up
Mm.
just to get what I want. Nah, I have what I need. And so I think I want to impact hearts, and so once that is happening, I'm good. Like whatever else comes. So I think it's coming to a place where you know what you want and figure out if you accomplished that already. If you didn't, how you can get it without anything else getting in that way. If you know, if you get
Mm.
what I'm saying. You said that you feel lost, bro. Truth is, we all get there sometimes. We
Mm.
all lose our way. And what I could say to you is, man, yeah. So what I could say to you is, just I have this song. I have this song called "People Pleasing Living."
Mm.
If you heard of that song, but do what makes you happy. Everything that if, I don't know if I don't know if it's examples you are drawing or if it's your real life situation with the girl you might like or your
Mm.
parents might not like them or people not feeling like, oh, you got to do this, you got to do that. Nah, do what makes you happy, man. Live and be who God has made you to be. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I asked you if what you want to accomplish and why you do what you do, because once you have those things locked, then you're good. Then you have a path as to what's next and why you're gonna do what's next and all of that.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? And then you have a peace of mind per se, or you have a better, you have clarity on the things that you do, and not feel like you're wasting time or feel like time is going and you're not getting anything done, or you got to do this and you got to do that. You're not flustered, So if you, I hope I made sense, but
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
I hear that.
yeah,
I'll
man.
definitely take that with me for a minute. But that might be our time, unfortunately. I think that was a perfect way to end it off too. I definitely want to save that question for last because,
True.
like I said, I think it's great how you are speaking to people who are in need of that, push. I just wanted to present you with something real to
Mm,
see how you would tackle it in outside of music, because I
mm-hmm.
feel like as you grow, like that will come eventually. There will be people who will write you letters and show up to your shows and ask you the same question that
Right.
I'm asking you right now. But all that being said, thank you for that.
Yeah, man.
I'm definitely gonna take that with me. Every conversation I have, you gotta take with me, whether it's on here or whether it's on a voice message. I always take that with me. It's great having you, Terrell.
Yeah, man. It's great being here.
Go stream Terrell's music. That is at Torell Doroaz. He's on all platforms. He's on Instagram. He might actually, I shouldn't say that because you're hopping in and
Well,
out.
I have a
But he's on
profile. I have a
Instagram.
profile
He
there.
has a profile on it.
But I'll say this. I'll say this.
Mm.
Like I stop. I don't want to. I don't want to continue saying, go follow me. Nah.
Mm.
Go and check my page out. And if what I do you rock with, then you follow me. If not, you don't follow. It's all good.
There you
You
go.
know what I'm saying? We're not chasing the followers anymore, man.
Right. Yeah,
We
that's
need
great.
people who can relate or connect for real to the
Yeah.
shit. Because you want these people to stick around and
Mm.
you build with no
We
fake
want a
followers.
connection, not
Yeah,
followers.
yeah, yeah,
You know what
yeah.
I mean? We don't want nobody to follow us.
Family, not fans.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. Dope. That was hard.